Early in this newscast, we told you about the push from a local state representative, Representative Reschke, asking FERC to deny dam removal on the Klamath River.
Now, these dams are along the Klamath River and have been a point of discussion for quite some time. Joining us now to discuss his opposition is Representative Reschke. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So today you released details of a letter that you sent to FERC imploring the denial of the dam removal. You cite a concern about toxic silt built up behind each dam, saying that that's the reason Pacific Corp wants to get out of the current ownership to avoid liability. And just for some background for our viewers, FERC issued a ruling that requires Pacific Corp to remain a co-licensee even after handing over the dams. But then Oregon, California, leaders from 2 Native American tribes and representatives from a Pacific Corp-owned company signed an agreement that promises to see this project through. So it appears by these actions and statements that there seems to be a preparation for potential issues and a commitment to resolve any issues. Can you explain where your concern lies if there is reassurance from multiple states and others to handle any issues?
Sure. Let's just go to the environmental issues. I think there's going to be untold ecological damage. You have tons of what I'm going to call primordial silt or goo built up behind these dams. And rather than removing that from the river when they tear out the dams, they're going to flush it down the river. If you want to see dead fish, this is certainly going to cause a lot of dead fish and harm other aquatic species. So no matter how many partners you have, the tactic they're using is going to have just devastating effects on the environment.
Well, if your position is correct, then this is not a new issue that someone has not addressed. I mean, we've been talking about silt behind those dams for more than a decade at least. Why do you think that those who believe they are doing the ecologically correct thing disagree so strongly with your position?
Well, they do agree with me. They say that there will be some damage. They don't not admit that, a double negative there.
Right.
But instead, they think it's going to be far less than what I think. And their projections are not based on any real test in the real world, but on computer models.
So some of these folks that are having, I'll call it the opposing view, supporting the removal of the dams, say that there's actually more damage in keeping them. My understanding is that you're saying there's more damage in releasing or removing them. Is this just an option of choosing the lesser of two evils, or do you have another solution?
No, I think we should be able to walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. So Pacific Power rate payers for the last 10 years have been paying a surcharge for dam removal. If we took all that money and put it into relicensing with fish ladders, I think we can have a win-win.
All right, Representative Reschke, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. And for our viewers watching, you can read more about this dam removal proposal and opposition, as well as support on our website, kdrv.com.